I was proud too when I was Prime Minister and I had to say no to the participation in the American invasion of Iraq.
Okay, to be honest, that's not essentially true, what he's saying here. Canada's involvement in the U.S.'s invasion of Iraq is many times framed as this principled stand against an illegal war, so much so that he's getting a standing ovation here. But Jean Chrétien, though he officially declined to participate, this decision is very much mythologized as an act of Canadian moral superiority, which is basically just a demonstration of independence from American imperialism. But the reality is not at all of that sort. Canada may not have put its name on the invasion, but it played a crucial role supporting the entire military operation. It provided military logistics, economic assistance, all while pretending to stay out of the conflict. On March 17th, 2003, Chrétien announced that Canada would not send combat troops to Iraq without UN authorization. This was nothing but a savvy political move. It was designed to appease both domestic anti-war sentiment and his international allies. But very much behind the scenes, Canada was still deeply involved in the ways that helped sustain the war effort. And Canada naval forces in the Persian Gulf, under the guise of this anti-terrorist operation, provided logistical and intelligence support for the U.S. military. It was these ships that participated in various maritime efforts, essentially blocking Iraqi ships, which helped to enforce the economic strangulation of the country. Canada naval vessels also acted as a forward base for U.S. air raids, functionally integrating into the invasion effort without being labeled as part of it. Canadian pilots flew AWACS, surveillance missions that directly assisted U.S. airplanes in targeting Iraq. Throughout NORAD, Canadian military officers helped coordinate American airstrikes, ensuring that the bombing campaign ran smoothly. Additionally, about 150 Canadian troops were embedded within the U.S. and British forces under various exchange programs. Some of these personnel participated in direct combat, meaning that Canada did have boots on the ground in Iraq, just not under its own flag. Canada's government played a careful balancing act, which was officially opposing the war while maintaining warm diplomatic ties with the U.S. and the U.K. Many diplomatic officials made it clear to Washington that Canada would support the invasion on the margins to stay in America's good graces without incurring domestic political backlash. This wasn't a rejection of imperialism as it was a PR strategy. And meanwhile, Canadian corporations quietly profited off this war. Defense contractors supplied ammunition and equipment used by the coalition forces, reaping financial rewards from the occupation. And the Canadian government didn't just tolerate it, it facilitated it. So the myth of Canada's moral stance on the invasion of Iraq remains one that is of great national illusion. It's a comforting narrative that ignores the country's actual role. Canada didn't stand against this war, it just avoided the political cost of its participation, and it helped sustain the invasion while pretending to be a simple bystander. The real legacy of Canada's Iraq war policy wasn't anti-imperialism, it was a cowardice, duplicity, and a deep commitment to maintaining its place within American-led global order, no matter how many lives it had to cost. So that's the lies of the Iraq war that, again, not a touchdown dance that Jean Chrétien should be making here.